Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Konstantin Ashratyan, and we continue our global project, Bank of Memory. Today we can talk about very interesting person. He is not political, but exactly you know about this name. This is Frank Sinatra.
Think again.
Frank Sinatra is still the greatest.
This is my grandmother's 80th birthday. I'm in from California to take her to see Frank Sinatra.
There'll always be Sinatra. He's the best that ever lived.
There's nobody like Frank Sinatra. Took us back to our youth. We were the swooners for the swoonee.
With scores of movies.
Frank Sinatra.
The toughest time the two men faced together was in 1963, when 19-year-old Frank Jr. was kidnapped, held for ransom, and released unharmed 3 days later. The kidnappers were later caught and convicted.
It's been a trying experience.
When you look back on that experience, what does that mean to you?
Well, my feeling about that period was very confusing. I mean, between anger and anxiety and wanting to hang somebody by the neck if I could find him, it was a very difficult situation to try to hold on to and be calm.
I remember that time. It was such a horrible thing to have had happened.
It was a painful reminder of reality for a 19-year-old. I mean, when someone under the pretense of delivering a Christmas package screws a 38 in your ear, it gets your undivided attention, yeah. And you become conscious of many things. The first thing that struck me was that I had to change my shorts.
You know, that whole issue of being part of a famous family was the cause of it. How did you feel, and how long did that stay with you?
Being part of what's called a famous family is the reality. This would not be happening were it not for that. People who pulled that crime were originally going to kidnap Bob Hope's son.
Really?
It came out in the investigation because they learned that Bob Hope was wealthier than Frank Sinatra. Then they decided that Bob Hope, being the great humanitarian, that wouldn't be good for their public image. So instead, they took me.
For the good time.
The kidnapping and other rough spots in the life of Frank Sinatra and family have made him reluctant to speak with the press over the years. Yet Sinatra was seen earlier this year in Australia embracing the press. We saw you